with us. It is May 19th, primary election day 2026. I'm Valerie Vining. He's Richard Dixon, Steve West behind the glass, and Phil Carter on traffic. We're glad you're with us. Here's what we've got as far as the weather forecast. Partly cloudy today, a high of 89, a slight chance of a rain shower. A little better chance tomorrow, high 86. And as we progress toward the Memorial Day weekend, unfortunately, rain chances increase. We're looking at like 50, 60%. But, you know, like we said just a short while ago, now that we're into May and the humidity coming up, you just might be prepared for any time we get a pop-up shower, because that can happen as well.
Yeah, boy.
So look out for it. But looks like a really nice day today. Yesterday was spectacular and got a little rain late in the day, and might have the same thing happen today. We'll just have to kind of wait and see.
I'm good with it, man. If we can have the same kind of day that we had yesterday right up until the rain, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
And the rain was not terrible.
I mean, yesterday morning we were sitting out on the patio at Inverness Country Club with a little light jacket on. Nothing heavy, just a little something, because, you know, the moisture in the air, the morning dew. I mean, it was a little bit, it had a little coolness to it, but we're almost done with those coolness mornings where we're like, oh my gosh, it's hot out here. And it's
You wake up in a
6 o'clock
sauna.
in the morning.
Fun. You wake up in a sauna. My favorite time of year is right about now, because my house is at 72, and when I walked out of the house, it was 72. And I was just like, that's what you're looking for, continuity, right?
Yep.
In the house, out of the house, everything is great. Love it. Dixon Dividing, Talk 995 and Talk995.com. Mr. Bugs, MRBUGGS.com. They know what bugs you. When it comes to mosquitoes, they can help take care of those for you. They'll reduce the mosquito population in your backyard. They should be coming around and spraying me again real soon. And then, of course, the pest control needs to be taken care of. That's where the insects are trying to get in because they don't like this rain and they want to be inside where it's dry. And so they'll kill those on the inside and then lay down a barrier to keep the outside ones outside. A barrier that, interestingly, does not wash away with the rain. I find that pretty cool. Termite bonding, small rodent control if you live anywhere near some woods or anywhere near nature. You can probably count on there being some small rodents involved. You can get that taken care of as well. Mr. Bugs handles it all. They do it very, very well. They've been at it for 45 years now, and they are statewide at 844-MRBUGGS if you are so inclined. Mr. Bugs, MrBugs.com. They know what bugs you. I remember, speaking of fourth grade, maybe fifth grade, I remember reading about Indian reservations, Native American reservations, and how there was law enforcement, white law enforcement, on the reservation, and their job was to round up Indians who were breaking the law. If there was, if there was a Native American who was out there breaking the law, this white law enforcement was supposed to go get them, the sheriff's office or whatever. And they were paying the deputies $5 per arrest.
Oh, that's never good.
Yeah, when you pay somebody $5 per arrest, what do you think happens? Suddenly everyone's breaking the law.
You make a lot of arrests.
Yeah.
That's what you plan on doing.
You're going to get out there and $5 was a lot of money back in the Old West. That was like an insane amount of money. So $5 per arrest. These guys were racking them up, and bringing in Tonto for anything, everything, really. Well, this is also what happens when you have things like the Democratic Party, and yes, to some degree, the Republican Party does it too. We've got these offshoots politically that will pay people to get signatures on petitions or to get people registered to vote. There was a famous case recently where they went through this one woman's work. She was like setting records for registering people to vote. And once they started really looking closely at some of the registrations, Minnie Mouse registered. This is nice. Queen Elizabeth
Not
registered.
good.
And she was running out of names, so she was just making stuff up and throwing it down there, but getting paid per person in terms of who was registering to vote. And it leads to graft and corruption. And here's a perfect example of it. Happened on Skid Row. A Marina Del Rey resident by the name of Annika was out there getting homeless people to register to vote. Annika Brenda Lee Armstrong, 64 years old, was paying people between $2 and $3, so $2.50, to register to vote or to sign her petitions, which were usually ballot initiatives. And, you have to get so many signatures to get something on the ballot. And so the Democratic Party is like, well, we want this on the ballot. She would go down to Skid Row, start handing out money. Now she's getting paid, $5 per signature, and she's giving up $2. So she's
still making a profit,
making money in the long run, simply by walking around and getting every homeless person to scribble their John Hancock down there. Well, when you agree to pay people per signature, don't be surprised when you get fake signatures. When you agree to pay people per voter registration, don't be surprised when you get a lot of fake voter registrations. Or they're not fake, but, they're human beings who have no intention of voting. They don't even know when voting day is. And that means, of course, that people can go vote in their name, especially in California, where it's illegal to ask for ID. It's not just that they don't have a voter ID law. People understand this. If you're a poll worker and you ask someone for their ID, you could be arrested in California. That's how screwed up that place is.
Yeah, that's pretty screwed up. And again, we're, doing everything we can to make sure that our elections are secure with asking for some form of ID to vote. This goes way above and beyond the pale when you're paying homeless people for signatures.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whew, California's got a bigger mess on their hand.
If you have a list of those signatures, you are able to then request absentee ballots, have them sent. You don't have to provide any ID with your absentee ballot. You just have to look at the signature and do a quick approximation while you're signing the thing. And now, however many signatures there are there, that's how many votes your candidate gets in absentee ballots. It's insane.
That is insane.
And it's, it's not surprising that they have a very focused, very functioning, very organized voter fraud plan there. She is just one
easy.
of the cogs
it's easy
in the wheel.
They're making it too easy.
Absolutely.
Voter fraud.
And it's why they absolutely positively fight against the idea of having voter ID or having to prove that you're a citizen to register to vote or anything really crazy and out there like every other civilized country on the face of the earth does. Somehow we're not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Figure that one out. I really am starting to think that the SAVE Act is probably the most important piece of legislation.
Yes. And we will be talking with a congressman later this morning. Love to hear his opinion on it as well, because I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
That we really need to look at this and get it passed.
We need it very badly.
We do.
I just if for nothing else than to force states. Who knows? Would you have believed a year ago that it's entirely possible that all of the U.S. deficit is fraud and waste?
No, I would have said to you, oh, come on,
There's
Richard,
no way.
there's no way.
Then we get news out of Minnesota. We find out what's going on in California. Now we're finding out there's stuff in Ohio and Illinois. They're uncovering fraud on these
Everywhere.
epic levels in the billions and tens of billions of dollars. And you go,
We're getting close to that T number.
we're closing in on
Yeah,
$1 trillion, which
yeah.
was our deficit last year. Okay. I would never have believed in a million years that California could feasibly actually be a red state, but for the graft and corruption and the voting. Because they are about 40, last I saw, I thought they were 44-56. 44% Republican, 56% Democrat. Somehow the entire legislature there is Democrat, and somehow, they only have 5 Republican seats in the House because of the gerrymandering that they've done. Good for them. Way to go. You managed to, pull that off. That's great. But if we were to do away with the voter fraud, it might be a lot closer to 50-50.
It could be. Or maybe even flop a little.
Could go a little the other way.
Yeah, it could be more red. Amazing.
Once you
Really
get all the
is.
people who aren't supposed to be voting not voting, there's no telling what might
Well,
happen.
let's clean up the fraud first and then see where we go from there. But, oh, wow.
That could take decades.
Well, you're right. It could.
It is 7:15 with Dixon and Vining, and there is an absolute auction coming up. It's happening on May the 26th, and it is going to be down Highway 75. There's a piece of property there that is going to be sold in 5 segments. Old Compton Road is the name of the place. It's going to be held at Compassion Church, 7776 Highway 75, 1 p.m., May the 26th, 1 week from today, if I'm doing the math correctly. Good stuff about this. 5 parcels, like I said. You can buy 1 parcel, 2 parcel, all 5 if you want, however many. Great road and creek frontage. Proven popular hunting area. easy access to Alabama 75, less than a mile away. And you can tour it at your convenience over the course of the next week. All you need to do is visit gtauctions.com to find out more about it, gtauctions.com. And if you're thinking about selling a piece of property, particularly undivided ownership property, gtauctions.com, another place to go to find out more about it. There's all kinds of information there. And you will get an education like you've never had, and then set up a no-obligation meeting with Jack Granger or one of his fine, top-quality folks over there at Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing and learn all about the auction process and why it is the superior way to sell your property. gtauctions.com, Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing. $7:21, Dixon and Vining on your radio, on your computer, on your Alexa, on your app, on your phone. We're everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. That was the Chicks. They used to be the Dixie Chicks, but they're no longer Dixie.
Just the Chicks.
They're just the Chicks.
Mm-hmm.
I like that song, and I like Goodbye Earl. There's a couple of their tunes that I don't hate.
Do you like the Dixie Chicks? I'm sorry, the Chicks.
I wasn't a huge fan of them, but like I said, there were a few songs of theirs that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I hate their politics.
Yeah.
Needless
That
to
aside,
say.
yeah. It's a shame they stepped all in that.
It was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, it was.
And a bad idea for a country act. We found that out.
Oh,
you know?
horrible.
Country fans tend to be a little more patriotic, and they would prefer that you not get involved in politics.
Or somebody that's like, a rocker, like a Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Somebody like that. It's like, might want to stay out of politics.
Hey.
Might be a good idea.
Or let us know where you stand, and then we can decide whether or not to buy your product.
Well, yeah, but some of them wait too late.
That's true.
Like they've already made their millions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, here's where I stand politically. Oh, really?
There are too many millionaires and billionaires. Really, let's start with you. How about that?
Oh, goodness. I'll tell you, it's nice to know when you have somebody like Daniel from Noble Contractors on your side, to know that he's a veteran of the military. And this man is outstanding in what he does when it comes to gutters and gutter repair, anything you need done gutter-wise. Daniel can do it for you. And, hey, some new news. They have now merged with Lifetime Roofing. So now you've got two trusted companies, one stronger team, and that's what it's all about. Daniel is going to take good care of you. I've seen his work. It's incredible. When you talk about gutters, you don't really think that much about gutters day to day, but, boy, are they important on the side of your home to make sure that the water gets moved away from the foundation of your home. That's what it's about. You don't need it in those places because now you're going to deal with other problems. So if right now you have some gutters, and when we get the rains, you see some of the water going over the top of the gutter, there could be an issue there. It might just be clogged, and that can be fixed pretty easily. If it's something more serious where maybe it's time for some new gutters, he's got the seamless 6-inch gutter installation. He can do the repairs. He's got the gutter covers. And I tell you what else, his price is a lot less than some of these big national companies that you see advertised. So I just want you to get in touch with him and say, look, can you come out and give me a free estimate? Go ahead and get the estimates that you need from the other companies as well, and you'll see that you're going to go with Daniel with Noble Contractors, because not only is the work as good or better than some of these other companies, but again, you're going to pay a lot less. Ask him about 0% financing for 21 months. He can tell you more about that. And the 10% discount on your gutters when you tell him you're a Talk 99.5 listener. Pretty sweet deal. So get in touch with him today. 422-3034 is his number. That's 422-3034. NobleContractorsALA.com, or check out some of his work when you visit him on Facebook.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, we are back on a pause involving a potential strike on Iran this morning. President Trump is saying that he sees a good chance of a nuke deal being made with Iran. He's a whole lot more optimistic than I guess I am about all of this. He said leaders from key U.S. allies in the Middle East had asked him to delay a planned military attack on Iran scheduled for today to allow further negotiations. Trump was prepared to very quickly launch a large-scale assault if no agreement was reached, and is still prepared if something doesn't happen fairly quickly. But there's been an awful lot of this back and forth. Yeah, they want to make a deal. Okay, here's the deal that we're going to present you, Iran. Iran comes back, and there's zero on there that they're willing to agree with. Now they're saying, okay, no nuke deal is what they're talking about. Is that really going to happen? Are we really going to get that deal? Or in a couple of days, we're going to be in the same position that we've been in for weeks? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it is a game that they will lose. If they keep playing this game, Donald Trump will reach a point where he's like, okay, enough. We've done this 4 or 5 times now. You still haven't come to the table. No nukes, no enriched uranium. Mm-hmm. Open up the Strait of Hormuz. Let's get going. If not, we're going to start bombing. And please tell me this is it.
Oh, I'd love that, but I have zero expectation. I mean, my hopes are very low because, we've seen this before. The Iranians are like, wait, don't bomb us yet. Don't. How about this? How about this is our best offer. We feel pretty good about this
Our
one.
best offer.
This is our best offer. We keep the nukes and you don't bomb us. How about that?
But wait,
That's
there's
not-
more.
Yeah, there's more.
You're like, I
That-
don't
that
think so.
is-
I don't see it happening, Habu.
No.
It's not going to happen.
I think I know Donald Trump doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to take out, their power grid and the bridges and all this stuff. He really doesn't want to do this. But they're leaving him with zero choice.
Yep.
You keep coming back and saying that none of these things are negotiable and you're not going to agree to any of it. You're going to eventually get bombed. You're going to get bombed.
The one thing that he has said, Donald Trump has said, is that, off the record, they speak completely differently than they do on the record. When they're talking to him, they're like, yeah, you guys are going to have to come get the nuclear dust because we can't get it out. We don't have the ability to do that. But you can get it, and we'll give it to you, but you got to come get it and whatever. And then publicly, they're like, we'll never give up. Okay. A minute ago, you were talking to him and saying something completely different.
Yeah, that's how they operate.
Sad but true.
Police in San Diego were investigating a runaway juvenile report yesterday before a deadly attack at the Islamic Center in the city. The investigation started a little before 10 a.m. after the suspect's mother reported that her son was missing along with weapons from the home and her vehicle. She also told police that her son was suicidal. 2 teens opened fire, killing 3 men before killing themselves a few blocks away. Among those killed was a security guard who police believe played a pivotal role in keeping the attack from being much worse. A lot of children yesterday in this Islamic center, and you could see police and security holding many of their hands, trying to get them out of there and across the street to safety. The attack is now being investigated as a hate crime. They found the 2 teens in a vehicle, apparently just sitting in the middle of the road, and they had both taken their lives.
Yeah.
Just a tragic situation. Not really sure why they felt like they needed to do this, but again, they'll do some further investigation as to maybe some social media posts and if there was anything else written by these 2 individuals about why they would want to do it. But
I hate it because it is it's the worst of us when you get right down to it. I mean, look, we've had problem with Islamic fundamentalists, obviously. You don't go into a mosque and shoot them up any more than you'd go into a synagogue and shoot them, or go into a church and shoot them. It's just unacceptable. Not how it's done.
No. So again, we'll get some. I'm sure some more information will come out about that case a little later today. The Alabama Supreme Court has declined to hear a case involving birth center regulations. The Alabama Court of Civil Appeals ruled back in January that birth centers should be classified as hospitals, and that would mean that they need to be licensed and regulated by the state health department. Oasis Family Birthing Center opened in 2022 and is the state's first freestanding birth center. Alabama Birth Center North Alabama later opened as the first freestanding birth center. State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris requested an Attorney General's opinion on whether the birth centers fell under the definition of hospitals under state law, which gives the health department the authority to regulate them. A.G. Marshall said the centers did fall under the definition. So now the question is, will they close, or are they going to go through all this regulation process?
Maybe if they could kind of pool their resources and have one that goes through all the regulation process, and then maybe if that works, then they can open a second one. But, trying to go from where they are now to that in every birthing center all at once, that ain't going to be easy.
No,
that's going to
sure
be a rough
won't.
one. Good luck to you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Look, I believe in what you're doing, but I understand where the Attorney General's coming from on this. 7:30 Dixon Dividing, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Tombstone pizzas. There are good ones. There are bad ones. We'll discuss. Coming up in mere moments. You're certainly welcome to join the conversation. 545-9950. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Dixon inviting beautiful day, 88 for a high. Maybe rain tonight, like last night, 84. Tomorrow, supposedly, we're guaranteed rain. We'll see how that goes. And then they backed off a little bit on Thursday. But Friday is supposed to be rainy, and the weekend as well. We'll see. Clearly, they don't have all the answers.
Not yet, anyways.
No.
Day by day.
Hey, look, it's
We'll
tough
take it
to
a day
figure
at a
out.
time.
In this area of the country, it's very difficult to figure it out. We do live in a terrarium.
Here's the thing. I know a lot of people are trying to make plans for the Memorial Day weekend. I wish we had a firmer look at really what was going to happen with the rain, so you could make plans. But it is Tuesday. Let's just hang tight a little bit. We're almost to the summer months where we know what it does, and what's happening today and what we're talking about happening this weekend and next Monday, 6 days away, could all be different in a better way.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm going to think. That
Absolutely.
there'll be less rain chances,
Or significantly worse.
Yeah,
You don't know.
So we'll keep watching.
Possibly significantly worse. If your testosterone is significantly worse than it used to be, it's time to call the Alabama Men's Clinic at 598-7000. Make an appointment and get in there to get tested. $99 for your initial consultation, and they will give you a number before you leave. Tell you, here's where you stand testosterone-wise, and really here's where you need to be, and here's what we're going to do or what we propose to do to get you back up to where you need to be. I can tell you it is a real life change to have the right amount of testosterone in your body. I am a much happier, healthier individual and much more upbeat and energetic as a result of it. I appreciate what the Alabama Men's Clinic has done for me. They can also help with your hair loss and your weight loss and your ED and peptides and GLP-1s, all that stuff. They do it all. But let's start with the testosterone. Get that where it needs to be. That alone might solve a world of your problems. It is 598-7000 for the telephone number to make an appointment. Begin changing your life almost immediately. This is urology-backed medicine, and these guys are 100% involved in your medical wellness. Powered by MensPro, the Alabama Men's Clinic, alabamamensclinic.com. Make an appointment there in 30 seconds or less. 598-7000 on the telephone. I have here 4 Tombstone frozen pizzas to buy and 3 to avoid. This is by someone named Megan Hageman at Tasting Table.
Megan
Hageman.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Why is it always a girl?
I don't know. We know pizza.
It ain't
Why
right.
in the world didn't Megan change her last name?
From Hageman.
Oh.
One thing she says to buy is the original thin crust 5-cheese Tombstone pizza. To me, I look at cheese pizza and say, what's the point?
Right.
It's a little bit like decaf coffee.
Can I just say on frozen pizza, I'm not real big on the thin pizza. I think if you go out somewhere and somebody knows how to do it, the flat bread, and it's
Good.
right out of the oven and it's good,
Crusty.
I'm all about that. I can do
Crackery.
that.
Yeah.
But the frozen
Thin crust doesn't do it for
doesn't
you.
work.
Okay.
It just, never, it hasn't.
Everybody is welcome to their own opinion on the subject.
Well, and I would also ask this, and I don't know how many people do this, but would you buy a cheese pizza and then try and create something else out of it at
I've
the
done
house
that.
with toppings that you have?
Sure.
I've done that.
I have
like
as well.
adding, some of the pizzas, they don't have it. To me, they don't have enough pepperoni on it.
Yeah, throw a little
There's
extra on there.
There's like 1 pepperoni per slice, and I'm like, come on.
The last
So I'll
time
throw some more on there.
Last time I had a supposed supreme pizza, I was like, there ain't no mushrooms on this pizza. I have some mushrooms, and I just
throw
added
those on
them,
there.
and it made all the difference in the world.
I've
also
even
felt
added
like-
cheese.
yeah.
I've even added cheese to
me too.
pizza.
Last time I was like, there's not enough sauce on this pizza. I have sauce. I put some dollops of sauce
You know
across
what? Now
the top.
you know what? Just
Yep.
you got the pizza oven there, Richard.
I
Just
felt the same. I
start
was kind of like,
again.
I was like, at
Why
what
am I
point am I
doing
just
this?
making my own pizza? At what point am I just making my
Well,
own
what
pizza?
What are we doing here?
Mhm.
I've got my just awesome pizza oven right here. Let's just do it.
Well, here's what Megan says about the 5-cheese Tombstone thin crust pizza. Why stop at 1, 2, 3, or even 4 cheeses when you can have 5 all layered on top of one another? Tombstone knows what cheese pizza lovers are looking for, and it delivers it. Doesn't actually deliver your pizza, but it delivers the flavor. Brand combines mozzarella, cheddar, Parmesan, Asiago, and Romano onto its base of original thin crust and tomato-based pizza sauce. That adds up to 1/3 of a pound of cheese that melts into a molten blanket of white and orange in the oven. That sounds delightful. I still don't think that there's really any reason to eat cheese pizza.
No.
What are you, 4? Are you 4 years old?
I know I've got family members that love just a cheese pizza, and it's a fight every time. I'm like, could we do half pepperoni,
Yeah,
just
please.
at the minimum? I got to have something on there.
You're Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. That's what you are. Mm. She says, avoid the original thin crust pepperoni pizza. I ate these through college. Tombstone pizzas were about $3 back then, and it was a real treat because, that was expensive back in 1980, 81, 82. So, yeah, I mean, I'd go get myself an original Tombstone pepperoni pizza. They were the most common pizzas, and throw that sucker in the oven. It was one of my favorite munchies for when I'd been engaging in some recreational activity.
Yep.
And, I don't, how can you dislike this? This is a part of my youth.
Yeah.
It's my youth. How dare you? You would think Tombstone's pepperoni pizza would be an upgrade from the cheese. Still have that same original thin crust, tomato sauce. You're gaining a sporadic collection of pork, chicken, and beef pepperoni, but even so, this pizza doesn't produce the same kind of balanced and appetizing result as the 5-cheese pie. Megan, you're wrong. She says, buy the garlic bread crust pepperoni pizza.
What?
If I wanted garlic bread, I would get garlic bread.
Right. Why am I worried about it on my pizza?
Don't be putting...
Just make a great pizza.
Yeah. Stop being weird. Packaging should be a different color instead of nearly the exact same shade of dark blue. The two also look fairly similar coming out of the oven, but this one is noticeably thicker, and the cheese was far more golden and bubbly. Okay, Megan. Also buy the pepperoni and sausage original thin crust. Oh, I see. The pepperoni not good enough, but when you add sausage, now suddenly it's acceptable.
Uh-huh.
There's more there.
Is this woman drunk?
Yeah, she might be.
Probably.
To be honest, I was on the fence when it came to the pepperoni and sausage combo pie, but I ultimately decided the good outweighs the bad, and it's an overall decent frozen pizza. Most of the pizza's components are nothing new. The original thin crust is back. It cooks up the same way it did for the 5-cheese pizza. Certainly thin with a wafer-like crispness, but it holds the shape underneath the weight of the toppings. Sauce also keeps its signature tanginess. It's plentiful and spread across evenly the pie. Fair warning, though, it comes out of the oven practically boiling.
Oh.
So give it some time to cool unless you want to burn your tongue, something I learned the hard way.
Would be the roof of your mouth.
Mozzarella is
Yeah,
still
no
the
kidding.
only cheese, yes. It's
A
always
resounding
Yeah, I
compliment.
never
It's
burned my
acceptable.
tongue. I burned the roof because that's where it lands on the
adequate.
roof of your
Adequate,
mouth.
sorry.
Adequate,
Acceptable,
yes. It's
adequate.
Adequate.
The adequacy of this pie is
The
remarkable.
adequacity.
Yes.
Overwhelming me with your endorsement there, lady.
Mhm.
She's using AI.
Avoid the Supreme Original Thin Crust Pizza. Again, I love the Supreme. Why would you do this? What is your problem?
And I'm telling you that's lame. Do you see the Supreme? What's on it?
Yeah.
That is lame.
Well, the Supremes
and I understand it's a frozen pizza.
Yes. Supremes I have purchased in the past look much better than this one, I can tell you.
Gee.
This has got some green peppers, looks like a little bit of onion, and about 3 black olives.
It looks like they just went
Yeah.
Psh, and that's it.
No, and usually it's loaded down with more stuff than that. Again, lacking mushrooms. I don't know why that has to be the case. And then she says, buy the loaded bacon cheddar French fry crust pizza. Lady, you don't want pizza. You want French fries and garlic bread.
Yeah, you want loaded French fries.
Yeah.
That doesn't even look good.
No, it looks horrible.
The picture on the box is lovely, but
Yeah.
then when it came out, you're like, what is that? It's like burnt something.
This is a new one even for me. I've seen plenty with cauliflower crust, even seen pretzel crust and breakfast-style croissant crust. But a crust inspired by French fries is something I'd never encountered before. Tombstone unleashed this carb-loaded creation in July of 25, and now it comes in several flavor varieties, but I was able to get my hands on the original 2 chili cheese and this loaded bacon cheddar. Immediately, the loaded bacon cheddar feels like the more natural fit. It's meant to imitate a platter of fries covered in cheese and bacon bits. Well, there you are.
Yeah, you don't
You
want a
wanted loaded
pizza.
fries.
You don't want a pizza.
You don't want pizza. But she does say avoid chili cheese French fry crust pizza because she has to be controversial, I guess.
Okay.
She just doesn't like chili.
Might be the case. I don't know. I've never, look, there are some good frozen pizzas out there. We've talked about the Screamin' Sicilian. Tends to be very, very good. I love the Motor City pizzas. That Detroit-style pizza tends to be really good. For the most part, I'd rather make my own. Publix has got that ready-to-go dough, which
Yep.
is always fantastic.
I've used that.
I make my own sauce. Pick up some pepperoni from Aldi, where it's as good as anything you get anywhere else, but
You know
half
what I
the
like
price.
is the pepperoni that curls up.
I
like
love
the
the
smaller
cup.
ones, and then the little burnt on the edges,
Yes.
the little cup of it.
And then
oh.
the cup holds the grease in
Yeah,
there
oh, it's
perfectly,
yeah.
so that you can take that out, just smear it directly on your face. Doesn't get
You
much
can
better
start
than
putting
that.
cheese in the little cups.
Oh, that's good.
You know,
yes.
like top it with cheese, then
Sure.
put the pepperoni.
I like it.
And then put a little more cheese in
A
each
little
one of
cheese
the
in the pepperoni.
Now you're talking. How about like instead of like shredded cheese,
Yeah.
like a little dollop of mozzarella.
Maybe
like
it's
you
like
cut
some
off.
liquid. You're saying
Yeah,
some liquid?
just drop
or
it in
or
there.
a square.
Well, like
a
you know
small
they have the
cube.
string cheese.
Yes,
Just
uh-huh.
chop
Oh,
the
there
string
you go.
cheese
String
and
cheese.
take it and drop the
Yes.
pieces of the string
Let's
cheese.
just grab a
in
can
it.
of Cheese Whiz and fill them.
All right, I'm good with that too.
It is difficult to believe that we all have a weight problem, isn't it? I don't know how that happened. 746 with Dixon and Vining. Your comments are welcome. 545-9950. 7:51. You already know the weather. You've heard it, but I'll tell you again, 88 degrees for a high today, 84 tomorrow. Rain possible tonight, but more likely tomorrow. Not just at night, throughout the afternoon. It'll be spotty showers, they say. Spotty showers. 7:51 with Dixon and Vining, and Chris drops us a line. He said this actually yesterday afternoon. He said, I thought Gary Palmer said Trump would never be elected. Now he's a Trump supporter from day one. Which is it? Yeah, I remember standing right over there. I'm pointing to an area. If you can see us on YouTube. Oh, wait, no one can see us on YouTube. Stu hasn't posted
the blank area where you're...
There you go.
Yeah.
Right over there next to that window when Gary Palmer told Matt Murphy and I that he was terrified that if Trump got elected, guys like us would be out of work, that he would shut down talk radio. And I was like, I don't see it, Gary. I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. This is 2016. And now he's, Trump supporter from day one. Okay.
Well, I think there were a lot of people that maybe didn't know what Trump was going to be like.
Mhm.
J.D. Vance is a perfect example.
Absolutely. People
The
change
vice
their mind.
president of the United States right now
Yeah.
was not a fan of Trump.
He referred to Trump as a Nazi at one point.
And now all of that changed
Mhm.
once he began to see what he was able to do and wanted to do. And he's like, oh, I'm on board with that.
How about Mark Cuban, who has said nothing good about the president, made a public appearance with him yesterday, having to do with health and,
Wow, that took a turn,
again,
didn't it?
very, very.
You're
Trump,
like, how did that even?
Trump is great at making enemies out of friends, see Elon Musk, and making friends out of enemies, see Mark Cuban. Elon Musk is now back in the fold. He, they went to China together and all that stuff, which is nice to see. But this is who he is. He's got a gift for taking somebody who's like, I can't stand the guy and he's a Nazi and whatever. Well, what if we did this? What if we talk? Give me some ideas. What is it you want done? And then he actually enacts them, and they go, oh, I guess he's not as bad as I thought. He wins people over left
All
and
the
right.
time.
It's really
And
amazing.
even does, like you said with Elon Musk, where they're friends, then they're adversaries, calling each other, just doing all this stuff on social media.
Yeah.
And now he's back in the fold, traveling on Air Force One with him to China. And you're just like, wow.
I certainly bear Gary no malice for changing his mind about Donald Trump. I'm glad that he did, because I didn't think what he was saying was making any sense, but maybe he was just listening to the wrong people.
I think early on when Donald Trump was talking about initially the previous election, talking about running for president, we were like, what?
Yeah.
He's going to run for president. Wait. And all of us were like, well, I need a couple of minutes to, kind of figure all this out. What do you mean he's going to run for president? He's been on The Apprentice. What are we doing here?
You're right. I don't remember
But okay.
exactly when it happened, but I do remember coming on these airwaves and saying, I'm beginning to think that not only can Donald Trump win the Republican nomination, but he could feasibly win this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, did I get a lot of phone calls on that. You're out of your mind. I was like, are you listening to what the guy says?
Mm.
I mean, I love it. And the thing that really sold me was when he did the John McCain thing, where he said, all right, he was a hero because he was captured. I think my hero's not captured. I think heroes shouldn't be captured. That's just the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
And people were like, you have to apologize. He's like, I'm not apologizing for that. That's when I said what I felt, what I meant. And I thought, I like this guy already. I may not agree with him.
He doesn't back down. There's very few times that Donald Trump has ever backed down on anything.
But he understands that if you apologize, they smell blood in the water, and
they come
they
after it.
never stop.
Mhm.
So it's like, nope, you put your hand out, you go, not apologizing, get used to the idea. This is who I am. Let's see. He also, by the way, said Milt Fleener hates puppies. I recorded those stupid ads
Long time
15
ago.
years ago, I swear to God. And people are still referencing the Milt Fleener ads. We'll break them out when we get closer to the general election, okay? We can't play them
We
at
don't want
every
to burn
election.
them out.
No, they're already kind of burned out in my mind. Let's see. Yeah, Patrick talking about riding a motorcycle in the rain is one thing. When it's cold and raining, it's another. Usually dry out quick, but when it's cold, oh my God, yeah, not a fan. Tow trucks showing up to Highway 43. Actually, that is cleared from what I understand.
That was at 7:05, so it's been about an hour.
Dixter was the first voter in Jasper, Alabama.
Way to go, Dixter.
First one ever, Dixter? Like no one has ever voted there
7:07.
before? What do you say? Light turnout, Calhoun County. What the hell did I go to Iraq for, says Jeff. Let's see. Charlene says, we're being told our voting place has changed at the last minute. Selma. Okay.
What? It's a trick. Don't fall for it.
Jeff joke of the day. You ready?
Okay.
What do you get when you cross an agnostic, an insomniac, and a dyslexic? Someone who lays awake all night wondering whether or not there's a dog.
That's not what he wrote.
He wrote a very, what he wrote was,
I'm like, wait, that changed.
what he wrote was, someone who lays awake all night trying to decide whether or not there really is a dog. It is a far too long joke. Cut to the chase.
Well, and
Richard,
it's also
it's
old,
his.
so
Yeah.
heard it before many times.
You got to cut to the chase. You got to get right to it, you know?
Jeff. Oh my gosh, Richard.
Someone who
can't-
lays awake all night wondering whether or not there's a dog. It's the same thing. I just said it in fewer words. But, you know, the payoff has got to be commensurate with the length
Listen,
of the joke.
this is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, here is the problem.
Yeah.
Because you have had all kinds of stand-up comedy in your background, there's no one that can write a joke correctly, including Jeff.
That's true.
So, Jeff,
I'm here to help.
if today needs to be your last day of writing jokes,
No.
it's okay.
No. You keep them coming, mister.
Yeah, let Richard keep changing.
Yeah, we're
what
trying to
you
help.
wrote.
How about maybe you could learn a thing? I'm just saying.
Oh, no.
Okay, how about
Jeff's
the one-
like, oh, really? So now you're going to teach me something.
How about the
I'm
one
giving
we-
you free jokes, Richard.
We missed one on Thursday.
We did?
Yeah, remember the
Oh, we didn't have one. Yeah, I know.
Oh.
the cannibal week, right? Last week was
Yes, it
cannibal
was.
week.
Yeah.
Well, here was his Thursday joke.
Oh, okay.
What did one cannibal frog say to the other? Hey, we do taste like chicken. See, I didn't feel the need to change that. He wrote that. It's succinct. It was to the point.
You know what he just said to me a minute ago?
What's that?
Amen, Valerie. You're welcome, Jeff. I got your back. I told you that. Gotcha.
Just learn how to write a joke. I'm telling you, not a big deal.
You're not paying him for the jokes. They're free.
Yeah. Well, I still expect them to be quality.
You know, if you were paying him for them, I can understand you critiquing him, but he doesn't deserve that. They're free. He's taking his time
Look,
out of the day to send you a joke.
Here's what really happened there. I fixed his joke, and you made a big deal out of it. Like, you could have just let it go and been like, hey, that's pretty funny.
I was like, that's not what
Instead,
he said.
you felt the need to go,
Listen.
Richard, change the joke. Just leave it. Let me fix his jokes quietly.
Jeff's over there like, that's not what I said.
No.
So somebody's got to be the voice of
No,
Jeff.
what Jeff was saying was, that's not what I said. That was better than what I said. He knows it. He heard it.
He said amen,
He knows.
Valerie.
Yes,
He's agreeing with me.
No, he knows perfectly well that I fixed his joke. He's not a fool. He
All right,
knows.
Jeff, let's hear
I'm
from
here
you.
to help.
You're here to
I think
help.
we've spent way too much time talking about that.
I agree. John says the French fry crust pizza tastes great. John, you want French fries. You don't want pizza.
That's right.
Just voted at Church of the Highlands in Irondale. Very light early turnout.
Yeah, I don't think today there's going to be heavy. There's not going to be a,
Probably not.
nah, it'll be light.
Terry asks, who was the guy that Leland had on yesterday running for AG? I only caught part of the interview. I believe he was a current former Alabama Supreme Court Justice. Yes, that'd be Jay Mitchell. If you can't remember that name, vote for the only guy who's running for Attorney General on the Republican ticket. You can't go wrong. The other two are women. It's a good thing you all have YouTube, because if I was listening to Valerie without being able to look at her, I would think she weighed 500 pounds.
Yeah, because
Wow, Nick.
we always say,
Wow.
we're on the heavy side.
No.
We just like, an occasional smash burger or a
Yeah,
hot dog.
yeah.
We're not 500 pounds.
No, I mean, of
but-
course, you can't see her below the waist. You have no
Yeah,
idea.
like,
She
oh,
just
here you go,
balloons
look.
up. She's like she's classic pear shape. Oh, look at this. She's turning around now. Wow, all right.
You couldn't really see me.
Okay,
the
no.
camera was out of the way.
The other wreck on 270 inbound Mountain Brook. Do you mean 280?
280.
Inbound in Mountain Brook is also clear. Traffic still struggling to recover. Yeah, I know how that works.
It'll take until about 10 o'clock to recover.
Try shaking some Parmesan Romano over pepperoni when you take it out of the oven. Sets
Hey,
up nicely. Oh,
nice idea,
I
Tom.
like it, Tommy.
Thank
Good
you.
plan.